Today on DNVR Buffs Live, Rick George is retiring from his position as athletic director at the end of this year, and we will thank the man who saved Colorado football and also start to look forward to what that means for the program. Let's do it.
We should. Buff Nation.
Let's go.
Welcome into the Toyota Lounge, driven by your Front Range Toyota stores. Toyota, the official vehicle of DNVR. Yes, massive day. Breaking news just half hour ago, really. Rick George will be stepping down at the end of this academic year, transitioning to a new role. Colorado will be looking for a new athletic director. And, I guess the tier list shows tomorrow. And, yeah, your case. Go ahead.
No, we'll get to my case. We'll get to my case tomorrow. But yeah, Rick George transitioning to special advisor to the chancellor / athletic director emeritus. You got to have cooked at some point to get emeritus strapped onto your title.
I learned exactly what that was just 30 minutes ago.
What does it mean?
It basically means you're around and you're like an honorary person, pretty much.
Yep, exactly. What I would call it is a soft retirement. And that means that Rick George will no longer be the athletic director, and Colorado will need to search for a new athletic director. And before we talk about what that means and what that means for the future, I just want to give a shout out to Rick George, who came here under bad circumstances, took over a very bad football program and a athletic department that was struggling in turn because the athletic department goes as the football program goes. And, had success with his first hire. Well, actually, he didn't hire Mike McIntyre, I don't think. Hired Mel Tucker. Talk about him a little bit later.
Yes.
But putting all of that aside, found himself in a position after the Carl Durrell era where I think Colorado football was staring down the barrel of its own death.
Pretty much, yeah.
Who knows where this football program would be? And so Rick George, in what really will end up being his last big move, swung for the fences and hired Coach Prime. And in my opinion, saved Colorado football as we know it, because the attention and the dollar bills and the wins and all the things that Coach Prime brought also brought Colorado out of the sinking ship that was the Pac-12 and into the Big 12 and to where we are now. Without that move, without Rick George having the balls to do, and many other athletic directors did not in that coaching cycle, because of that, Colorado is here where they are now. And if that didn't happen, there's a chance Colorado football essentially dies with the Pac-12.
Yep.
And, they're part of this whole, group of teams who are just scrambling to pretend they're in a conference now, which to me, the teams that are in that are just going to, flounder at the top of the water for a few years before the sun bakes them out and they die.
Yep, pretty much. That was, my first year was 2022, and there was a lot wrong with the football team, but, obviously the more time that I spent and just as the days went on, learning about how the NIL and how the portal affected CU and how those things were just really kind of bringing the football program down. And when that happens, as you said, kind of drags down the whole athletic department. So to see the changes and the risk of, pretty much putting it all on the line with that hire to get Coach Prime. What a move that was to go out there and get him. And then just see the progress since then in NIL, and what you're doing in allowing players into the transfer portal, how fans can help impact and, contribute to the success of the program. In the last 3 years, he's literally kind of changed the trajectory of this program, of this university's athletic department.
Totally. And remember, it's Rick George who has to get the sign off of the university to make things happen.
Yeah.
And so when we talk about like hiring Coach Prime, again, a thing that I feel like a lot of people forget is like the transfer portal was Colorado's worst enemy before Prime got here. Not only because we were losing all of our good talent, see Christian Gonzalez, but also because our academic standards were in a place where we couldn't bring anyone in. And Colorado was one of like the 4 toughest programs for bringing in transfers because of the types of credits they would honor and what they wouldn't honor and things like that. So Rick George is the one who has to lobby to all of these people to get those changes made so that Coach Prime would even agree to come here in the first place. The next thing that I think is very important to remind people, because there's already a meltdown going on, is that this has been in the works for a long, long time.
Yes.
So Rick George didn't just all of a sudden today decide that this was his last day, send out a letter, said peace out, and cleaned out his office. This is something that I had heard was on the horizon before Coach Prime signed his extension. Listen to me when I'm telling you. This was on the horizon before Coach Prime signed his extension. This is all part of the conversations. Rick George has been doing this a long time. He's been working for a long, long time. And it wasn't any surprise to anyone that he was nearing a time where he was going to step away and retire. Yeah. So this is not a surprise to anyone in the athletic department, especially not Coach Prime.
100%. And, he, in the Buff Club letter, he mentioned, working with the chancellor to ensure as smooth a possible transition for the next athletic director. And, with his new position as well, I'm sure he'll have some sort of a role, maybe not the deciding factor, obviously, but Rick George, he's leaving this place better than when he found it, right? And I think part of doing that as well is ensuring that the transition of power or the person who succeeds you is also going to kind of fall in line with that, right? And that's what is going on. This is a pretty natural transition. Look at the news that's going on with Baylor today. Like,
tell me, I don't know that news.
Well, okay, so I don't even know either because they're saying that this is not a. Anyways, first off, Baylor AD is stepping down from the CFP, the committee.
Okay.
And they're replacing him with the Utah one for the Big 12 or whatever. They're saying something happened in like a September game with tight end Michael Trigg and the AD about, I don't know, bro, some shirt he was wearing or something, but it has nothing to do with like Title IX or NI. I don't know. It's just a weird situation.
Okay.
So, anyways, the point being, like, usually when ADs are stepping down or not stepping down, like sometimes when you hear news about the AD, it's usually like, oh God. But this is not even close to that type of degree of stuff. Like, this is a formal, like, as you said, been in the works for a while.
Yep. And and I think Rick George's relationship with Coach Prime is one of the reasons why I think he'll still be around.
Yes.
And it's honestly just a relationship with everyone around the program, in the program, fans, boosters. When you do this as long as he's been doing it, there are important relationships that you carry across all levels. And so whoever the new athletic director is going to, really lean on Rick, I think, to ease him into the role.
Yes, for sure. Moving forward, obviously there's going to be a search and all that. This is happening at the end of the academic year, like when he formally steps down. So that'd be May, I guess.
I have no idea.
Neither do I. Sometime in the near future. So he's still going to be around for the meantime. You'll see him at Folsom or at the event center and stuff, I'm sure. And you probably will moving forward. But much more to come. I don't know if we can do a tier list, I guess.
Oh, yeah. We're doing a tier list.
All right. So that'll be exciting. Do you have any names you want to throw out early at this point in time?
Me.
All right.
RK.
You have go for it, bro. You have the stage.
No, we'll talk about me tomorrow.
Okay.
I'll make my case my formal case to be the next athletic director at the University of Colorado. The only position that I would leave this one for. I'll make that case tomorrow.
All right.
But you've got, I saw some people throw out the name Jeremy Bloom.
Yep.
That's a great idea. I'm sure, there's a million people across college athletics that we just don't know about. One person who I would look at, just like off the top of my mind, James Madison. Whoever is running their athletic program, because they got themselves Kurt Signetti. Kurt Signetti leaves, and they got in another great coach that kept that thing on rolling. So I don't know who that is, or maybe if they're even the same person that's been across both of those. But that's a place I would look. There's a lot of options here, and I don't think anyone is naive enough to think that Coach Prime won't also be involved in this.
Sure.
So you look to places and people that he has connections with. Like Louis Riddick just came to mind.
Yeah, sure.
So we'll see.
It's gonna be fascinating. But yeah, keep it tuned here. We'll of course have our finger on the pulse of the situation, and we'll talk about it as more things pop up. Jeremy Bloom, by the way, did just sign on to be the X Games CEO in December.
Yeah.
So
that would be tough.
Yeah. We'll see though. All right. Do you want a whole segment for the Buffalo Heart?
Absolutely.
Okay. So let's play the video then. We'll do Coach Prum's message to the team during the bye week. This was in Well-Off yesterday. Obviously the team is still working. A lot of things up in the air. I mean, of course, with the team in terms of the staff, the players, and I mean, we had a beat meeting today. The portal it's on the horizon. It's coming right up. So Coach Brian was talking about the problems and the changes just right in front of the football team earlier today. This is what he had to say.
We got a bunch of guys in this group right here that really care, that really believe. We got about several guys that don't. And guess what? I know who you are. I'm not gonna call you out. I'm not gonna identify you because you've already identified yourself in the way you go about your job, the way you go about your preparation, the way you run your mouth in the locker room. And I asked all you guys, some of you haven't met with me yet, but the last question is gonna be, are you part of the problem or the solution? And many of you gonna say, I'm part of the solution. But it's hard to be part of the solution when you tolerate the problem. If somebody's beating somebody up right here and I don't stop and break it up, I'm part of the what? I'm not part of the solution. But everybody who's part of the solution, I want you to work your butt out today and I want you to finish strong. Anything in life you're gonna learn as young adults, you got to finish strong. Some of you, it seem like you gained momentum and you still soaring up, and I love it. Yo-Yo's one of those guys. 10 is one of those guys. Some of you youngsters are still on the climb. Some of you taking the personalities of some of the older guys that should be teaching you and should be reaching you, and they taking you along another path. You got to disconnect and grab onto something that's whole. It's something that's understanding, going to the right place. But that's on you to discern who that is. I still believe in you, and I still think you are great. I really do.
There you go. A couple things to talk about there. I mean, one, that's just Coach Prime being Coach Prime. I mean, matter of fact, I mean, blunt, if that's the word you want to use, just, I mean, it's decision time we're coming up on. Like, this is a very pivotal, time period. Next month or so, we're entering for this football program and the future of it and the trajectory of it. And there's going to be some hard conversations. There's going to be some things that some players are going to hear that maybe, they're not going to like. So also at the end there, I mean, he's kind of doing the cornerstone thing. And he
I was going to say, was he watching the show yesterday?
He pointed out Yo-Yo. And Julian.
And Julian.
Yeah,
our
of
first
course.
2 cornerstones.
Yeah.
No, sorry. Our first 2 were Jordan and Julian.
Yeah.
2 of the first 3 cornerstones got a direct call out. And I almost think that Jordan is so larger than life that he doesn't even have to be addressed in that situation. But also it was an important message from Coach Prime. And I also think inside of there was a acknowledgement that not that he hasn't hinted in this and acknowledged this before, but of the leadership.
Yeah.
And the need for it. I've talked about this a lot, and the numbers people choose to describe this phenomenon are different every time. But there's an old saying in coaching that you have 20% of players on your roster who are leaders, who are always doing the right things, who are captains, things like that. There are 20% at the bottom of your roster who are pulling guys in the wrong direction, as Coach Prime was talking about, leading you down the wrong path.
Yeah.
Hey, we don't need to watch that film. Like, let's go to that party type of stuff.
Sure.
The 60% in the middle it determines how good your football team will be. And it's based on the strength of that 20% at the top or the strength of the 20% at the bottom. If the 20% at the top is strong enough, they can bring the 60% in the middle with them.
Yep.
If this 20% at the top is not strong enough, that 60% will get pulled down to the bottom with the bottom 20%. And I really think that's part of the problem that happened with this football team. Too many guys from the middle 60 were following the bottom 20. And it's a huge challenge of the NIL era. You're rolling the dice every year, hoping that you're getting the right guys in the top 20 and guys in the middle 60 who are more inclined to follow the top 20.
Right. I mean, well said. Yeah, it's just, I wish I could tell you what to expect moving forward here in this offseason and all that. I actually don't, but I do kind of like what we talked about on yesterday. And you kind of heard it when he addressed the team there and asked them as a whole, like, obviously guys are just going to respond and say, I will be part of the solution. But I do think there's a lot more, on this team that is good than bad. You know what I mean? Like, down to everything, the talent, the type of players that you have, like, where you're getting the players from as well. Like, yeah, they missed on some guys, and they were some painful misses at big positions, but there's still a nice nucleus, like a good young core there. And, the resetting the standard, what we talked about in the first segment was Rick George being what he had to deal with, with this program, where this program's come from 22. Like, there's just still so much that this program has gone through and come out on the other side better than. And I think a lot of these players are going to be, part of that change as well. Like, this is just part of, it's never usually just 1 year, all these problems are fixed, like, type of thing. Like, this sometimes, like, rebuilding a program or building it from the studs up, it does take, like a second type of, like, cleansing out type of thing to fully bring in the type of guys that you want, Totally.
And I think that the Shedeur and Travis effect, was a huge mask. That was, I hate to use the term fool's gold because it feels like that takes away something from them, but it made us feel like we were further along in a rebuild than we really were.
Yes.
And there's nothing wrong with that other than it got our expectations out of whack.
Yeah.
Without those guys, you probably win 3 games or 4. You probably win no games year one, 1 to 2 games in year one. You probably win 3 to 4 games, 5 games in year 2, and then you're here where you are in year 3. But because of those guys, you were able to get a boost, and because of those guys, you were able to get guys like Julian Lewis and Jordan Seaton to come here. So it's not as if there wasn't any sort of great residual effect from that, but because they were so special, because they were so good from a wins perspective, we microwave the process really fast. Now we're kind of back into the reality of a rebuild, and we got the great bonus of having those guys to help bring in the other elite talent. But now you're back onto a more normal path.
Exactly. So I think a lot of the guys on this team are up to that challenge too. As Coach Prime said, when it comes to recruiting as well, like, are you a dog or you cat type of thing? You know what I mean? Like, at this point, it's just, do you want to be a part of this program or not? Do you want to be a part of the change and a part of the solution? So let's take our first break, and then we'll talk about the Buffalo Heart Award. Shout out to Papa Proctor as well. Yes. Scotty is
watching the boys even without Scott.
I know. Shout out Scotty, though. He's under the weather. Everyone send him good vibes. Maybe he needs to take a trip to our friends over at Common Spirit Health.
He does.
Athletes, weekend warriors, and anyone who loves to move. If you're experiencing any sports injury or chronic pain, Common Spirit is here to help you. They don't just specialize in, treatment and getting you better from whatever injury you're dealing with. They also specialize in prevention and tailoring your routines so that you no longer have to deal with these injuries. Things like physical therapy, injury prevention strategies, and strength training are how they get it done. It's not about just fixing what's broken. It's about preventative care. So don't let an injury keep you on the bench, or even better, get proactive about your health. For more info, visit mountain.commonspirit.org. Common Spirit Health, official healthcare partner of the 8-2 first place Denver Broncos.
Also, shout out to Christie Sports. If you're looking to rent your ski gear this year, you got to go to Christie Sports. And they have weekend rentals where you could just go up to the mountain, rent them there, ski off, drop them off, not even have to worry about hauling them in your car. Or they have season rentals where, hey, you don't want to commit to a super expensive pair of skis or snowboard, but you want to make sure that you can get up there and get out skiing this year. Well, they have a super affordable option for you, and it becomes even more affordable when you use the code DNVR20 and book your season rentals online. You'll get 20% off. 20% off your season rentals when you book online at the link in the comments and use code DNVR20. Shout out to our friends over at Christie Sports.
Paisley's right. I mean, it's the golf ball thing. I mean, I don't know. I mean, like you said, I don't want to call it fool's gold or anything, but it's almost like Travis and Shedeur, it was like a golden golf ball or something.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like it just carried that much more weight.
Yes.
And obviously when that goes out, you're going to feel the brunt of that as well too. So
totally. I mean, the golf ball, up until those guys graduated, you were only getting more golf balls.
Exactly.
And someone in the comments, I think it was Julius, just a little bit up right there, said, I think CU donors did not capitalize off the 2024 season. That was the peak time to invest in the program, and it didn't happen. It did. It 100% did. And more was invested into this year's football team than ever has been invested into the football team by donors in the history of Colorado football. Mm-hmm. Period. End of story. There's just a lot more to it than just money.
Yes.
And at the same time, we don't have the coffers that a place like Texas Tech does.
Yep.
We don't have a golden goose donor who will just open up the checkbook for anything because they have unlimited money. Mm-hmm. We don't have that. But I really don't think you can blame the donors and the supporters of this program for not spending more of their money, because they opened up the checkbooks this year.
Yeah. Again, they just missed on players at big positions out of the portal. And again, coach getting sick, I mean, you can't overstate the impact of that, and him missing the whole summer of being with the team too.
Facts.
So let's talk about the Buffalo Heart Award, the annual award, one of the most prestigious awards at the University of Colorado, given to the football player who best demonstrates grit, determination, and toughness. Last year, it was Travis Hunter who won the award. The year before that, Shedeur Sanders. So, begs the question, who should we nominate as potential candidates? Also, you have news on how the fans can get involved with the Buffalo Heart Award.
Yes. So the Buffalo Heart Award has been around for, a long time now. And it started from a group of fans in Section 119 behind the bench who wanted to give an award for a player who was demonstrating heart, desire, determination, grit, and they're behind the bench, So it was always like, hey, we're seeing it all. We're really seeing like who's pouring it into this team, and so it's always been awarded by them. But this year they decided they want to involve everyone, and so it's still the beginning of the process. But you can actually vote now for who you want to win the Buffalo Heart Award by emailing info@buffaloheartaward.org. That's info@buffaloheartaward.org to vote and nominate someone that you think should win the award. And so let's open it up. Now that everyone can vote, let's make our case for who we think it should be. Let's go in reverse order of the ones that we wrote down.
Okay, so Ben Finiseth?
Yeah.
I mean, look, man, and there's a couple guys who have really gone through some adversity that we're going to talk about here for this award. But what Ben is what he's meant to this program the last few years, what he's meant to Coach Prime. I think he's just the symbol of really what makes college football great. I mean, these guys who just stick around just for the love of the program, love of the game, work their asses off. I mean, even if it means they're not going to move up the depth chart, they're giving it all on scout team and all that. These guys who are just awarded for sticking it out for their first 4 years and finally getting it to pay off as a senior, you can just tell with how Ben plays. I always think of that fumble against Delaware, right? I mean, if any play this season has personified heart more than that, then please tell me, because that was just a pure heart and effort play. And there's another player involved in that play we'll talk about as well. But we love Ben. Everyone loves Ben. So I don't really need to explain why Ben should be up for this award, honestly.
Yeah, absolutely. And one thing that I think is cool about Ben's story is something that he told us when he was on our show, which was that he didn't feel like he was being a good teammate at a certain point in his career. And he had a look in the mirror moment. And now I think that anyone on the team would tell you he's one of the single best teammates they have. Someone who just gives his all every single week, who has poured passion and heart into being a Colorado Buffalo, and brings a lot of the things that we have said over the last 6 weeks or so that they need more of. So big shout out to Ben, man. I think that he would be a worthy recipient.
100%. Next guy we wrote down was the other part of that play against the Delaware. It was Jeremiah Brown, JB.
Yeah. I mean, JB, man, you want to talk about just fighting for opportunity. This is a guy who I don't know if everyone remembers was an absolute baller at Jackson State.
Yes, monster.
Was a real cog of that defense, which I believe was the best defense in FCS that year, or close to it. I mean,
they were really good. He was one of the players we talk about going, all right, who from Jackson do you want on the team? And it's like 42.
Yep. So shout out to JB, man. Just scratched and clawed, and finally found his way onto the football field this year once he settled in at the inside linebacker position. And again, talk about bringing passion and heart and energy to the football field. I thought he did a great job of it this year. I want to add one, or while we're going back and forth here, Jordan Seaton.
Yes.
I think Jordan Seaton would absolutely be a worthy winner of this, and a guy who I love the way that Scotty always puts it, on the Mount Rushmore of the Coach Prime era. Well, Coach Prime's on that.
Yep.
The other two guys have a Buffalo Heart Award in their hands, and that is Travis Hunter and Shedeur Sanders. So Jordan Seaton would obviously be worthy of that. Not an easy year, especially for someone like him who's such a winner and such, I feel like he feels like he's done everything he could.
Yeah.
And so when you feel that way and you're not winning, that's really tough. But you haven't seen him, doing any posting tweets
for sure,
alluding to him leaving or any of that. He's kept his nose to the grindstone and been a great kind of face of the program from a player standpoint this year.
Totally. We talked about this almost a year ago, when Shedeur and Travis were leaving and they were doing those first winter workouts without, the seniors from last year. Jordan just emerged as a leader, and I think that's exactly what he had to do, what he needs to do for Coach Prime for this program, was to kind of be that bridge guy, that we talked about yesterday, of really formally kind of making sure that the culture that those two set, the standard and expectation that those two set, transfers over to the future Buffs, to Julian, to, all these guys that we're going to talk about, next year when we talk about this award as well. So he just means everything to this program. Guys love playing with him. Guys really respect him. And, he's always going to give it his all, even if he's, limping around on the sideline or whatever is going on. I mean, the guy, he's just tough as hell too. So, Tawfiq Byard. I mean, he had the Shark pass down. I would have voted the Shark last year. Cam Silman Craig, Travis is very worthy as well.
Yep.
But, what Tawfiq Byard, he's the embodiment of heart, truly. I mean, every play, you can tell how he's playing and how much it matters to him, how much he cares, how much he wants to make a play for his team and for his teammates. This last week being the greatest example of that, I think. I mean, misses the first half with that targeting penalty, instantly comes in the game. I think he had, 3 straight tackles, like a TFL, whatever. He was going crazy that first drive. So he's just the heart and soul of this defense and probably this football team.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm having mic issues or what, but I'll talk loudly.
Okay.
Okay, we're good? Okay. I think this is the winner of the award. I think that there's a lot of worthy recipients, but Tawfiq Byard has really just showed me so much this year. I feel like I can't imagine it's easy to play with the pride and passion and grit and determination and all of that he does on a week in, week out basis when it's not as much out there.
Yeah.
You know, when the defense is getting so criticized week in and week out, when the defense is struggling a lot of these weeks, and with a broken hand or whatever he's got going on, with a club on his hand, this guy goes out there every single week and absolutely balls out. And let's not forget, you want to talk about overcoming adversity? Somehow, some way, that man did not start the season as a starting safety. And has overcome that to lead the team in tackles, lead the defense from a leadership standpoint, and just continue to be someone that you can be proud of, that he's out there wearing your jersey every single week.
100%, man. And he's a cornerstone player too. You know, he's obviously going to be a massive part of this team moving forward, and for next year too. So I think it'd be big for him, for Jordan, you know, one of those guys coming back to kind of win that award, and allow them to have, you know, I guess another year to defend it, but also to kind of just continue the legacy that they've built this year too. Absolutely.
Someone in the comments said that number 7 jersey could become something special. I agree.
Yes.
It's like the old, what's the word I'm looking for? Glossy visor at Miami. Like you had to be a dog to wear that.
Yeah.
And I think that could be something too, where it's like, if someone deserves it, they get awarded the number 7 jersey.
That's a good jersey number 2, because you can give it to damn near any position as well on defense.
You absolutely could.
All right, let's take our next break, and then
real quick. So again, if you want to put your vote in, it's info@buffaloheartaward.org, not .com, .org. info@buffaloheartaward.org. And we'll
it'll be in the description as well. All right, shout out to the homies over at Breckenridge Brewery. Big week coming over here at the DNVR bar. We got Nuggets, we got Avs, and we got Broncos versus Chiefs on Sunday as well. So even though the Buffs are on bye, we're still going to be hanging out, crushing some Breck brews here at the DNVR bar. We're going to have one more chance to tailgate next weekend. Come hang out. We'll have some Breck brews out there. You can try their new Ridge Runner IPA, the double dry hopped brew inspired by Colorado's trails, with bright citrus and pine notes as well. You can try my favorite, the Mountain Beach Sour, and tons more here at the DNVR bar, or just check out their beer locator at www.breckbrew.com to find a brew near you. Shout out Breckenridge Brewery.
Also, shout out to our friends over at Game Time. One last home game at Folsom Field. That always makes me sad to say.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at the prices right now on Game Time, which has such a nice, easy user interface. You could get in for as low as $47, and that includes fees. So you're not going to hear me say $47 and go add it to your cart, and all of a sudden you're like, wait, how does this total up to $150 for 2 tickets? Nope, $47. It's my favorite part about the Game Time app. And there's all sorts of, there's not a ton, as we would hope, but there are a lot of tickets available at a good price to go see Colorado and go see Julian Lewis's first ever start at Folsom Field.
Yeah.
That's going to mean something one day to say you were there. I'm excited that I can say I was there for his first ever start out in West Virginia, because we're going to be talking about that for a long time.
Yep.
So get over to Game Time, hit up our friends. It's so easy, and use the code DNVR for $20 off your first purchase. Again, sorry, that's a code BUFFS.
Yes.
BUFFS for $20 off your first purchase. Again, create an account and redeem code BUFFS for $20 off.
All right, let's talk about Julian. And I don't know, I kind of noticed this Saturday. Maybe it was because they were attending.
Can I just say one last thing?
Sure. Go for it.
A couple people in the comments nominated Nikhil Webb-Walker.
Oh, sure.
For the award. And that's a great one. Great idea.
Yeah.
What a comeback for him to be able to actually get out there and play ball.
100%. I mean, he was just full on part of the team in like August or something.
Yep.
Like,
proud of him, man.
yeah, no doubt. Actually, let me see. Does he come back?
I almost think you could name a whole award after him.
Probably. He does come back. He's a junior. So, yeah, he's going to have a chance to make an even bigger impact this next year, which is exciting.
I think you could create the Spider-Man award.
Hell yeah.
Goes to someone who overcame something great to be out there with the team.
There's a Spider-Man movie quote out there that we can use for this or something.
I'm sure there is.
Let's talk about Julian, though, because, again, I don't know if this was the 10 a.m. game or the impact of being on TNT or what it was. It wasn't even really a great slate of college football. I just felt like his debut kind of it fell through the cracks.
Yeah.
Nationally, specifically. I mean, I just remember coming into the year, every single, impact freshman list, freshman to watch out for, always had Julian on it. Every single one. And, top freshman lists come out on Monday morning or whatever it is this week. And hardly anyone was talking about Julian. You go through all these quarterback power rankings from ESPN and CBS. He doesn't even appear on the CBS one, which is top 50. And ESPN's still grouping him in with Staub and Salter and just calling it like there's just not enough. No one knows, I guess, really what happened and why it's so big. And I mean, it's all we've been able to talk about since it happened pretty much. I don't know. I just thought it was interesting.
I think it's the time slot.
TNT? Or
no,
just the 10 a.m. slot?
The 10 a.m. Mountain time slot, or whatever, like that first college football time slot that is the time when there's the most games on.
Yeah.
And as much as Coach Prime draws, which I'm sure the numbers were still good, I think the national media audience probably wasn't tuned into 2-3 win teams going head to head.
I don't know, sure, but it's just like I feel like every other freshman who gets moved up to play, it's like they get talked about going into that week, and obviously we did as well. And maybe it's because the season's so lost at this point. I don't know. I just thought it was odd.
Yeah, was it Mike Golick Jr. who was on the call?
Yes.
He had a quote. I should have recorded it, but I was eating lunch while I was listening to it. But he has a quote in the fourth quarter as Julian makes like another big play scrambling out, and he's just like, I am in awe of what I am seeing right now from a true freshman quarterback. And so I can only assume that people who aren't talking about it just didn't see it. And they'll learn very fast. I'm sure there'll be more people tuned into the Arizona State game, and Juju's gonna have his time
for sure.
But you're right; it is surprising that like no one's talking about it, and I think there's even more there where like if you do talk about it, then people go, you're just glazing Prime, blah blah blah.
Right. I don't know. I mean, thank you at the end there. Like I'm not saying that like the nation's sleeping on Julian and all this stuff. Like, I'm sure everyone still knows who he is. It's not like they forgot who he is. It's just, I don't know.
They're sleeping on that debut, though.
Yes.
They are.
Well, just what, like, I don't know. Like, the news today, like, people are like, oh, this means the primaries. It's like, does anything about Saturday matter at all? Like, did you see any of that? Like,
yeah. I mean, people are going to look for every reason to say the prime era is over every time anything happens.
I mean, they've been doing that for 3 years now.
Exactly.
So.
But yeah, they're gonna notice. They're gonna notice very soon. But you're right. It has been. I haven't seen a lot of national buzz about it.
Let's talk about some other national things before we wrap up and get out of here.
And we won't know the time for that ASU game until Sunday.
Yep. Yeah, the Baylor thing is just weird. It's crazy. But a lot of people are like reacting like something weird is going on or something big's going to happen with this. So,
not for your lack of trying. I just really don't understand what happened.
Me either, though.
Okay. I'm going to see if I can get some sort of information on this on Twitter.
Yeah, good luck. All right, let's talk about Michigan State. So, the way Mel Tucker left Don doesn't even apply to this, honestly. He's actually not even really named in this report with all these penalties for recruiting, other than the fact that it happened while he was the head coach. But Michigan State has been hit because of violations occurred due to the participation of 3 ineligible players. They will have to vacate 14 wins from the past 3 seasons, and that includes all 5 wins last year during Jonathan Smith's first year as the head coach. They're going to be penalized like 1.5% of the football program's budget for the next 3 years. They will also face restrictions on official and unofficial visits, recruiting communications, recruiting person days, and off-campus recruiting contacts, and evaluations over the probationary period. They played ineligible players. And
what made them ineligible?
I don't even really know. So this says here, the NCAA handed Tucker, former Michigan State general manager Saeed Khalif, and former assistant coach Brandon Jordan show cause penalties. Tucker was given a 3-year order for failing to adequately monitor his program. Basically says so Khalif and Jordan, who are the general manager and former assistant coach, were given longer penalties for knowingly providing impermissible recruiting inducements, according to the NCAA.
Okay. So impermissible recruiting, then deem the players ineligible.
Yes.
And playing them is the reason for these sanctions.
Yes. But this has caused quite a stir because clearly Michigan was in some trouble with the NCAA recently. Mm-hmm. One of the games that is vacated from the 14 games is a certain game where a certain person was on the sideline in Central Michigan coaching gear with sunglasses on, and Michigan State won that game.
So Michigan State now lost the Connor Stallions.
Yes.
CMU game. Why does that matter, though?
But it's just they're getting pissed about it because they're like, oh, you're not going to punish Michigan, but you know. But
okay.
So anyways, going back to the point, it's ineligible players. The NCAA does not mess around when it comes to that stuff. Like that's where a lot of the penalties, more massive penalties, have been weighed on teams the last 15 or so years. Has been when, teams, do you think of the North Carolina one, right? I think that was basketball, but like that was a massive one.
Yep.
When it comes to eligibility and just kind of gaming the system that way. So
it's crazy to me to get popped for impermissible benefits in the NIL era.
I mean, bro, Mel Tucker, it was a crazy program.
Yeah. It really was. That's when it really was the wild, wild west. Really quick. Okay, so here is the story on the Baylor guy. Rhodes, who is currently serving as the chairperson for the College Football Playoff Selection Committee, is alleged to have taken exception to a gold long-sleeved undershirt worn by Baylor tight end Michael Trigg during the Bears' home game against Arizona State. According to the source, during the first quarter, Rhodes grabbed Trigg by the shirt on the sideline, and while using an expletive, questioned why he was wearing it. The rest of the team was wearing dark-colored undershirts.
So this guy's getting kicked off the CFP committee?
He put his hands on a kid.
Wow.
Yeah, over an undershirt.
Crazy.
Dumbass.
Massive dumbass. The CFP, though, this is another thing. So apparently the CFP's been out without a chair, one of the 12 chairs for the rest of this entire season so far. And so now people are like, well, what's the point of the committee? And some people are criticizing the fact that ADs are allowed on the committee because obviously they're going to be clearly biased. It's kind of relevant today. Rick George was on the CFP committee.
Don't you see, dude? They leave their hats at the door.
But that's the other joke going around right now, too. But I don't know. This could get into... There's a lot that's wrong right now with this sport. It just seems like now more than ever, it's really just a ship out at sea that they're just patching it on the fly. A little glue here, duct tape there. Somehow we're still floating, but
yeah,
it doesn't look great.
College football is an absolute joke on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday,
Yes.
and Sunday.
Pretty much, yes.
And Saturday, it fucking kicks ass.
It's so good, man. It's so good.
It's so good. But yeah, that's going to be a problem. That's going to be a problem moving forward. There's never going to be a perfect situation for how to select the playoffs. I kind of have a feeling we are going to eventually go back to a BCS style system.
I mean,
as AI becomes like more integrated into our daily lives, the AI overlords are going to start picking our playoff teams.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, again, no AI. I don't need that. But like, I'd like some like, I don't know, some metric or a poll, whatever it is, something for the committee to just lean on and be like, all right, like if we can't come to a consensus, like this is the tiebreaker type of thing. Just so that we know, like, there's a little bit of transparency and we understand the rankings a little bit more, at least. But
yeah. You could almost create like a multi-pronged system where it's like one vote comes from a committee, one vote comes from the computers, one vote comes from whatever.
Yeah, I don't know what the solution is for that. But speaking of that, I mean, we can talk about this, I guess. No real movement in the CFP a couple days ago. I mean, you had who lost here? Virginia, Louisville, and Iowa, and BYU lost. So that's really, I mean, those guys lost and teams just got bumped up one. But, Utah comes in at 13 and BYU is at 12. So Utah would be one of the first teams out. Do we have a Memphis? South Florida would be your team at 24 from the G5 now. But I hear Joey Galloway talking about how, well, Utah with their strength of schedule and blah, blah, blah. Like, the Big 12 bias is so real this year.
The anti-Big 12 bias? Yeah.
Except for Texas Tech. Like, they're just accepting Texas Tech as
because
this
of
team.
Texas bias.
I might be that.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, like, BYU and Utah, someone's going to get screwed out of the Big 12. The writing's on the wall. You got Steve Sarkisian talking about how, or was it him? Someone was talking about how they should have even more SEC playoff berths. So, I don't know.
We're going to get one? You think we're going to get one?
Yes.
That's it.
Yeah, I mean, just the way the schedule's worked out. We talked about this a little bit yesterday, too, and we'll talk about it when we do picks tomorrow. But
Go ahead.
Just that Cincinnati and BYU have to play. I think Cincinnati also has to play like Texas Tech or something. Like, it's like that cannibalization of the Pac-12 we always talked about. That's eventually what's going to happen. And, if Texas Tech, God forbid, Texas Tech loses another game, then the Big 12 isn't just complete free-for-all when it comes to the CFP. So
it's just crazy that a school that has, or a conference that has a number 6 team in the country, the number 12 team in the country, and the number 13 team in the country is just like treated like chopped liver.
Yep.
So what is going to happen right now if we go chalk? Let me see if all the top teams were to win, we would get Texas Tech BYU rematch in the Big 12 championship.
Yes,
I believe.
Yeah, let me get that loaded up.
The only other team who would be involved there is Cincinnati. And did you say Cincinnati and BYU play each other?
Yeah, so
they sure do next week.
Yep.
So basically, as far as I see it, Cincinnati, whoever wins that game, is essentially a lock to play Texas Tech.
Pretty much, yep.
Unless they stumble in the final week of the season.
Yep.
It's a shame because I think the second best team in the Big 12 right now is Utah.
Yeah.
And the reason I say that's a shame is because Utah lost to Tech earlier in the season. It was if you remember, it was kind of a tight game for a little while, and then the top kind of popped off. And
yeah, it was a one-possession game, I think, up until midway through the third or fourth quarter.
Yeah. I'd like to see that rematch in the Big 12 championship game. I don't think I really would like to see the Texas Tech BYU rematch in the Big 12 championship game.
Yeah.
And by the way, if BYU gets blown out again in the Big 12 championship game, then it's like completely over the dream of anyone, any second team getting in there.
100%. Yeah, that Utah lost to BYU. I mean, that's really what this is going to come down to in terms of who gets to play Texas Tech. Yeah, Cincinnati's they've got not really a easy schedule, I'd say, at all. You got Arizona, then you have the big game against BYU, then you have to go at TCU. So if they win that game against BYU,
there's no guarantee. That's actually the door for Utah getting back in.
Probably, actually, yes.
But Utah lost to BYU. So.
Yes. So, yeah, it's a mess right now. But I agree. Like, I think BYU is inevitably going to get screwed out of this. And you know what? The simple solution, yes, it is to win games and to just not lose, against the top two teams in the conference. I get it. But, I don't know. We're just willing to give everyone else second chances except for this conference. So
Yeah, for sure. BYU just laid such an egg last week that I just kind of like lost all of my faith in them. They were kind of a team of destiny who then ran into a real team and looked like they didn't belong.
yeah,
And so it's hard for me to make the case of like, oh, they deserve to be in there when they didn't look like they belonged on the field at Texas Tech. And maybe that's just to say that the Big 12 is a one bid league this year. But I really do think Utah can play with anyone.
I agree. But we'll see. A lot more to go. I mean, this is a massive week of college football. I don't know if you've looked at the slate.
I haven't. I just looked at the Big 12 slate. It looks good.
I think we pick tomorrow when we do picks. We're picking 6 out of 8 games are being ranked first ranked games.
So you got Notre Dame and Pitt.
Mm-hmm.
You've got Oklahoma, Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
And you've got Iowa, USC.
Mm-hmm.
Texas, Georgia, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that's a lot of ranked unranked.
I think A&M plays someone too.
We got a Friday night doubleheader.
Oh, A&M
Clemson and Louisville and Minnesota, Oregon.
Mm-hmm.
Minnesota's kind of good.
Yeah, PJ Fleck quietly just chopping wood, building that program, man.
Oregon's 25.5-point favorites.
Yeah.
Against 6-3 Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Minnesota took it to Nebraska a couple weeks ago, though.
Yeah, they did. That was fun. What did Nebraska do last weekend? Any idea?
They had their quarterback went crazy.
The backup.
Yeah, you didn't hear about this.
No.
So TJ Lateef is their backup quarterback.
Oh, why is that name familiar to me?
Because Colorado recruited him for a little bit too. Obviously Julian's in the same class. It is what it is. He went. Hold on, let me find the game.
We don't care.
Okay. Either way,
we can talk about it after.
They played UCLA.
Okay.
Anything else?
Super chats.
Here we go. Stanley Bell artist asks, what do y'all think of CU star Jeremy Bloom becoming CU of the X Games?
It's awesome. I mean, he's such a bright person. If you go just like look at his LinkedIn or like his list of career accomplishments, it is certainly not that of someone who is as young as he is.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a lifetime worth of resume, and he's still so young. So shout out to him, man. I think he did a little interview with Vic Lombardi recently. I was catching pieces of that was really good. He's great, really is.
I'm trying to see. Yeah, it was Matt H. So at ScoBuffs22, I mean, he retweeted the picture of when the day coach was hired, pretty much. And there was a groundswell of like Joel Klatt, obviously, and I think Jeremy Bloom was also in that group of players, alums, just people closely tied to CU who reached out to Coach Prime to try and get him on board, obviously.
Yep.
So there's a common thread there as well. I mean, it's a big ask, I think, to get him to. You just signed this deal in December. He hasn't even been on the job a year of being the CEO of the X Games. But, yeah, it'd be such a great fit.
Absolutely. I love Jeremy Bloom. He scored on his first ever touch.
Did he really?
Yep, punt return. Okay, I wanted to talk about this. It's T. Harris. Did you all see the Ross Tucker interview slandering Prime and Shedeur?
I did not.
So I didn't see anything about Prime, I don't think, but I saw a clip of him talking about Shedeur, and he's complaining about how Shedeur didn't come to their production meeting.
Didn't we already do this?
I don't know.
Didn't someone talk about this before?
Probably. Anyways, he's on the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show.
Okay.
Basically saying here's a part of the pattern of why people don't like Shedeur or whatever. And his reason is I think he had the CSU game, if I remember, Ross Tucker.
Yeah.
And he's like, we were supposed to have him for our production meeting, and he didn't show up, and LeJontay Wester showed up instead. And he's just like, people hear about this stuff, and people around the league are calling me and telling me, hey, what do you think of Shedeur? And I'm like, I don't know. I didn't get to talk to him. And Here's what I'll say about it. I don't understand the entitlement of like Shedeur owes it to me to talk to me before this game.
Yes, dude.
I reached out to Shedeur one time before a game on a Friday night.
Yeah.
To come on the pregame show.
Yeah.
And I just said, hey, like, it'll be like, we'll be right outside. Like, you can just pop in, pop out 5 minutes. And he respectfully declined. And then I just moved on with my life.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think it was some like indictment of Shedeur as a person because he didn't want to give me some of his important time the night before a game. He literally said, like, not tonight, fam. Got to stay locked in.
Yeah.
I'm just like, okay. I don't understand why people think that these athletes owe them. Like, every time that we have someone or don't have someone, when we do, I feel thankful.
Mm-hmm.
When we don't, I understand.
Yes, 100%. We did talk about this because this happened to Caleb Williams early in the year with Troy Aikman, I believe, on Monday Night Football. Am I misremembering? Chat, let me know. But I swear to God, that was the exact situation where Troy Aikman's just like talking crazy about Caleb on the broadcast. And then it comes out during like a couple of days later that Caleb missed or something happened where they couldn't find each other in a team facility. And these guys they go on these power trips because, again, like you said, it's entitlement. Like they think they're owed. And I don't know. It's just this like, I don't know. It's literally like this like kiss the ring type of thing, like respect me type of stuff. Like, oh, I've been around the game. I've played. I did all this. Like you should just have to, kind of respect your elders type of thing and just like pay it forward. It's like, I don't know, man. The game is different now. And being a college football player is not what it was when you were in college or let alone being a rookie quarterback in the NFL. So I don't know. It's just crazy. These people get on their high horses and they just want to tell people what to do pretty much. Yeah.
And there's something about those production meetings that they think are like.
Exactly.
Like they really do think it's owed to them. And I'll never look at it that way. I would love for us to be able to talk to every player whenever we want.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not the case.
Yep.
Like it's a two-way street.
Yep. 100%. Jay asks, are you prepared for DePodesta to ruin the Rockies like he did the Browns? In his presser, he said he knew nothing about football when he took the job. DNVR, please ask him why SS2 is not playing.
First and foremost, tell me you don't know anything about the Rockies without telling me you don't know anything about them. You can't ruin what's already ruined.
Yeah.
That's like talking about like putting the wrong sauce on a shit sandwich. Like that is already a shit sandwich. Yeah. You can't ruin it. It can't. It just that's what it is. So he literally cannot make the team any worse. And I also don't think he has any control over who starts a quarterback for the Browns, or did have any control over who started a quarterback for the Browns.
So look, man, this guy, I can't even find his role, what it was with the Browns. This guy was a baseball guy, though, before Cleveland hired him. That was the weird hire, when Cleveland hired him, not necessarily when the
Cleveland
Rockies
was kind of doing what the Rockies are doing now, which is just like throwing shit at the wall, hoping it sticks.
Yeah, so DePodesta was part of the team that they brought in with Sashi Brown and Hugh Jackson to literally completely bottom out the Browns and tank for 2 years.
Yeah.
That's what they're going to try and do.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. They actually can't tank because there's rules against tanking in baseball, and the Rockies have accidentally been bad for so long.
Wow, so they're that bad.
The Rockies draft pick was capped at 10 this year. That's the highest draft pick they were allowed to have because they have anti-tanking measures built in, and the Rockies have just been so bad that they couldn't get another top pick.
That's crazy.
So, yeah.
Yeah, but he's the Moneyball guy.
He is Jonah Hill in Moneyball.
Yes. Lloyd asked, do they have any AD candidates yet?
Yes. Of course they do, because they've known this was coming for over a year.
Of course. I mean, I don't know if we know any, but again, this has been in the works for a long time. And then a super chat from ATFY BRN. Appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the super chat.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, the Browns were terrible before DePodesta, but the Browns, that to me, that's when I officially said, you know what? This team, this franchise is not serious about anything. I mean, and it's been even worse since that point. That was 8 years ago now. Crazy. Insane. RK or this is from T in the chat.
See, I didn't hear this, so I can't speak on it until I've actually heard the clip.
Yeah, I've only seen people talk about that as well. I don't know. All right, we'll be back tomorrow. We'll do picks tomorrow. We're going to wrap up, put a bow on this bye week. Scotty will be back hopefully as well. We'll see you then. Let's go Buffs.
Let's go Buffs.
We all silly like the mayor.